All right, welcome in live, everybody. It is game 18 of the 2024 DYB Division I Ozone World Series here in Bossier City, Louisiana from the Tinsley Sports Complex. We have a matchup between the team from North Carolina out of Bossier City and the team from Greer, South Carolina. We saw South Carolina on this field a little bit earlier today as they were able to beat Mississippi here in the losers bracket. And so North Carolina played earlier today as well. They came out with a loss against Alabama, and so that's how they've moved down here into the losers bracket. So both of these teams fighting to stay alive and to move on to tomorrow, Tuesday. Winner will play at 12 o'clock here on this field against the loser of Alabama and Georgia, happening later tonight. So we'll start off this game with a foul ball. Your lineups. North Carolina, how they line up. Number 1, Easton Curl is the leadoff man. Number 18, Lucas Hyriggs. Number 00, Curry Morrison. Number 12, Brody McManus. 5, Caden Hartage. Number 3, Bentley Bass. Number 4, Cooper Morrison. That ball put into play by Easton Curl. Going to get past Milo Stranager. Going to be a stand-up double for a leadoff batter, Easton Curl. Caleb Spicer, Jordan Mathis, Isaac Dial, and Lucas Baker are rounding out the North Carolina lineup. Lucas Hyriggs now up for North Carolina. Both teams wearing navy blue today. South Carolina more reminiscent of their flag. South Carolina more representative of their flag. Pitcher today for South Carolina, Jake Thompson, number 12. His starting battery mate, Ben Wright, behind the plate. That pitch low for a ball, 1-1 now the count. Over at first, Dalton Edwards. Second, Jackson Howard. Third base, Kyler Brunson. Short, Easton Shealy. Left, Milo Stranager. Center, Ethan DeRosia. That ball in for that ball, 2-1 now the count. And out and right is McKinley Wade. So if you were tuned in for the South Carolina game earlier, South Carolina had 11 kids on their roster originally. They are now down to 9. Had a couple of kids get overheated and had to be treated by EMS, and one, I believe, had to go to the hospital. And so we're wishing the best for those kids, and South Carolina now down to 9, and so they're hoping to keep as many players as they can in so they can stay healthy and stay in this tournament. That ball grounded back to first for the first out of the inning. Runner will advance over to third base in Easton Curl. So now 1 down for Crew Morrison, starting pitcher for North Carolina. First pitch he sees, breaking ball's for a strike. Second pitch, also in there for a strike. Quickly an 0-2 count now to Morrison. Brody McManus, the man on deck. North Carolina trying to capitalize early after that big double by Curl. Take advantage of this runner in scoring position. That pitch just outside for a ball. 1-2 now the count. The 1-2 count. That ball's going to get away. Run's going to come in, and he's safe. And so just like that, North Carolina takes a 1-0 lead over South Carolina. And so now 1-2 the count. Have an errant ball coming in. No, 2-2, excuse me. 2-2 the count. For Crew Morrison. That ball fouled out of play. Count will remain at 2-2. Two pitch, fouled away as well. So we'll stay here and do it again. That one fouled away as well, and so 7 pitches this at bat. Crew Morrison. Thompson trying to finish it off here. This one actually put into play. Going to be past the shortstop. Going to get all the way to the wall. Morrison thinks about rounding over to second. But will hold over at first. And so after all of those foul balls, it pays off for Morrison as he finds first base. So now Brody McManus up for North Carolina. He is the extra hitter. We got a timeout situation going on here for Crew Morrison as he is the pitcher. Going to get a pinch runner for him. That'll be Lucas Hyriggs. Going over to first to run for him. So, one down, runner at first. 1-0 lead for Brody McManus as he steps into the box. First pitch he puts into play. Over to third. They're going to get the out at second. Ball's going to get away from the first baseman, though. But we'll record the second out as Brody McManus gets charged for the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Caden Hartage. Number 5, Caden Hartage. The man up now for North Carolina. This one right back up the middle again, past the shortstop. Gets out to center field. And a 2-out signal for Caden Hartage.
Number 3, Bentley Bass.
So Bentley Bass, third baseman, has a runner in scoring position now. After that hit by Hartage, he's going to look to drive him in here and add to this North Carolina lead. That pitch going to get away from catcher Ben Wright. Not going to allow any runners to advance, however. So count remains 0-1 as Bass did swing on that errant pitch. Pitch from Thompson sails outside for a ball. 1-1 now the count for Bass. That pitch also outside. Now 2-0. 2-1, excuse me, the count. Cooper Morrison, the on-deck man for North Carolina, if Bass is able to extend this inning. That pitch outside as well. 3-1. Now the count. The 3-1 pitch from Thompson. It's lined. All the way out to left field is going to be over Stranger's head. One run's going to come in. They're waving around the second one, and he'll get there in time. That's a big 2-run RBI double for Bentley Bass.
That's bat number 4, Cooper Morrison.
Cooper Morrison now steps in, another runner on base. That one comes in just a tad high, and 1-0 is the count. Morrison playing first base today for this North Carolina team. That one gets a big swing out of Morrison, 1-1. Now for Jake Thompson. Thompson at 24 pitches already this inning. Like we mentioned, South Carolina doesn't have as much depth as they usually would. And so pitch counts are going to be important for them, as Thompson able to get that one in for a strike. They use DeRocha, Straninger, and Jackson Howard earlier today, and so everybody else available. That one fouled back. Keeps the count 1-2. So 1-2 count for Cooper Morrison. That one, he lines in between shortstop and third base. And that'll allow the runner to advance over to third and put himself on first. And so we got runners on the corners for Caleb Spicer, second baseman. We're going to add to this total, and we will now have a mound visit for South Carolina's head coach, Jeff Howard. South Carolina also coached by Dan DeRocha and Chad Staggs. North Carolina managed by Alex Bass, coached along with Jason Morrison and Clint Spicer. And so it looks like Mr. Howard talking more with Ben Wright and kind of asking him where Thompson's pitches have been and seeing if they've been located right or anything of that nature. And so just kind of making sure everybody's on the same page. And I mean, there's 2 down. So I'm looking for Thompson to get out of this one without burning too much pitching. This one fouled back. Quick 0-1 count. Caleb Spicer, Jordan Mathis, catcher, the on-deck man. That pitch in for a strike. 0-2 now for Caleb Spicer. Go to pitch. Grounded up the middle. Shortstop's going to get a hold of it. They're over to first, and that will retire the side. Not before North Carolina puts up 3 of their own. So we'll head to the bottom of the first, see if South Carolina can answer for themselves. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, we're back. It's the bottom of the first now. North Carolina put up threes in the top of the first, and they're going to come out on defense for the first time and going to look to maintain that lead. North Carolina's starting battery, Crew Morrison, along with Jordan Mathis. Cooper Morrison over at first, Caleb Spicer at second, Bentley Bass at third. First pitch for Morrison is going to be a ball. At short, you got Easton Curl. Left field, Isaac Dial. Center, Lucas Hyrigs. And right field, Caden Hartditch. Second pitch, inside for a ball. Starting lineup for South Carolina, Ben Wright, Ethan DeRocha, McKinley Wade, Milo Straninger, Jake Thompson, Kyler Brunson, Jackson Howard, Easton Shealy, and Dalton Edwards. The third pitch of Wright's at bat. He sees for a strike. Wright, DeRocha, and McKinley Wade. Guys due up for South Carolina this inning. Fourth pitch, he sees for a ball. So now just 3-1. That pitch just hits the top of the zone, and it is now full for Ben Wright. Morrison trying to climb back out of that 3-1 count. That one, bouncer over to short. Ooh, he's going to bobble it. And not going to make a throw. So Ben Wright's going to get on base and be a leadoff runner for the South Carolina offense. So the error on Curl allows Wright over there. And that'll bring up Ethan DeRocha. First pitch to DeRocha. Sails high and away for a ball, 1-0. Now the count for DeRocha. Second pitch, runner's moving. And they'll get in there safely over there to second. So now a 2-0 count for DeRocha with this runner in scoring position. Again, Ben Wright the catcher, but due to not having as many players as usual, you will see the pitcher and catcher running for South Carolina. Now 3-0 after that pitch comes in high for DeRocha. Fourth pitch to DeRocha. Comes inside and gets away from the catcher Mathis. And so now we have runners on the corners for South Carolina, and very quickly they're trying to answer back after putting up 3 in the first inning. So DeRocha walks. That'll bring up McKinley Wade.
Now batter 6, McKinley Wade.
Get a throw back over there on DeRocha. Keep him honest. Like we've mentioned a few times since McKinley's been on this field, he's one of the lone people to send one over the fence. He sees that first pitch for a ball. DeRocha will take second. So now 2 runners in scoring position for McKinley Wade. That pitch sails outside for a ball, 1-1. Now the count for Wade. Milo Straninger, the man due up. Foul tip behind him. 1-2. Now for Wade. A 1-2 pitch for Wade. Pretty breaking ball. Comes and hits that outside edge for a strikeout for Cooper Morrison. So now 1 down. 2 runners still in scoring position. Well, that's a big start to get that out to a dangerous hitter in McKinley Wade. And pitch sails outside for a ball. 1-0 for Milo Straninger. Straninger starts out in left field. That pitch comes in at the top of the zone for a strike. 1-1. Now the count for Straninger. Straninger was the starting pitcher in that last game against Mississippi. Came in and was very dominant, threw 8 strikeouts in that game. The only reason he came out was due to pitches. So Milo Straninger sees that one for a strike, and so a 1-2 count now, 1 out. And that one comes inside. He takes a big swing and a miss. They're going to throw down to first and get the out on the drop strike, on the drop third strike. So now there are 2 down. Runners remain on second and third. Ball doesn't get past Mathis enough to allow that, and so you got 2 strikeouts for Cooper Morrison. That first pitch to Jake Thompson comes in for a ball. 1-0 count to the starting pitcher, Jake Thompson. That one sails into center field. Center fielders get it under it, and he'll make the catch. And so North Carolina got themselves in a little bit of trouble on the bases, but not before North Carolina is able to secure 3 outs and hold South Carolina scoreless. So we'll head to the top of the second. North Carolina will look to extend their lead. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. We'll be right back.
South Carolina is number 2, Easton Shiley.
All right, we're back. New arm on the mound for South Carolina. Easton Shealy will take over on the bump. Dalton Edwards moves over to second base. Jackson Howard is now the shortstop, and Jake Thompson will take over at first base. So Easton Shealy comes in, throws 2 pitches, both balls so far. That one comes in for a strike. Thompson finishes his day on the mound with 1 inning pitched, 4 hits allowed, no walks, no strikes, and 3 runs allowed.
So the number 11, Jordan Mathis.
This ball going to be in play over to second base, and it will be in time to record the first out of the top half of the second.
Knocked by number 7, Isaac Dial.
And so Mathis is retired with the 4-3 ground out. Isaac Dial, the left fielder, will now come in for North Carolina. This one hammered over to second base as well. Make the throw over to first. Going to get away from him. And so that'll put Isaac Dial over on first as he reaches on the error after the throw from the second baseman, Edwards. And so the 12-hole, Lucas Baker, steps up to the plate. Or excuse me, 11-hole. They only have 11 people on their roster. This one he bunts back up to the pitcher. Able to throw it over to first to record him. So now 2 outs over there. But he does his job of moving Dial over. So Dial's over on second now in scoring position with 2 outs. So now back to the top of the lineup, Easton Curl. The man up, doubled his last time up. This one, high fly ball out to right field. McKinley Wade getting under it. And Tranninger under it. And that'll do it. For the top of the second, 1-2-3 inning for South Carolina. They'll head to the bottom of the second now. Looking to put up some runs for themselves. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. I'll be back after this. All right, North Carolina's back on defense. Crew Morrison still on the bump. We see Lucas Baker come in over to first for Cooper Morrison. Or no, yes, for Cooper Morrison.
Tyler Brunson.
First pitch is strike to Kyler Brunson, to Jack Kyler Brunson. Second pitch in for a strike, and so quickly 0-2 for Kyler Brunson. The 0-2 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball, drops in for a strike. And Brunson visibly upset, but there was just really nothing he could do with that pitch. It started at his head and just dropped in the zone. A beautiful breaking ball for strikeout number 3 for Crew Morrison. First out of the inning. Another one of those pretty breaking balls. That one just drops a little bit lower for a ball. It's Jackson Howard in the batter's box now. Easton Shealy on deck and also due up this inning. Pitch just a little outside, so 2-1 the count now. That pitch down the middle, 2-2. Jackson Howard. Another breaking ball. He tried to break in there, but just sails above his head. Full count. Now for Howard. That pitch just outside, and so Howard, excuse me, will reach on a walk. Be a runner over at first. That'll be Morrison's second walk of the game. For Crew, Easton Shealy, current pitcher for South Carolina, now up to bat. He was able to put all balls in play on the last one to record those outs. That ball is going to get away from Mathis. Allows Howard to advance on the ball. So 1-0 count to Shealy. There's a runner in scoring position for South Carolina. Looking to answer here. Start to make this comeback. That pitch in for a strike. 1-1 now the count. That pitch high. 2-1. For Morrison. Two and one count now to Shealy. Dalton Edwards, the man on deck. That one. Bat out of play, evens the count, excuse me, to 2. Morrison looks in for the sign, the pitch. Just a little bit high and outside. Full count for Shealy. Morrison now at 34 pitches. That one put up in play. Over to the second baseman. He'll make the easy throw to first. And that'll be the second out of the inning. But does allow the runner to advance over to third. So even closer to scoring position now for South Carolina. And that'll bring up Dalton Edwards.
Dalton Edwards.
First pitch, swing and a miss for a strike. 0-1. So Cooper Morrison now at 36 pitches. Crew Morrison, excuse me. 1-1 the count. Looking to get through this batter, get through this inning before reaching that limit and having his coach make a decision. That one gets a big swing and a miss. 1-2 the count now. He's at 38. The 1-2 pitch comes in low for a ball. The 2-2 pitch. Down up the middle. Goes to the shortstop. He'll make the throw over to first, and that'll retire the side for South Carolina. We'll head to the top of the third. First, we'll take a 5-minute hydration break to ensure the safety of these kids. After we get back, we'll return for the top of the third, where North Carolina will be back up to bat. All right, we're back. Top of the third now. North Carolina's back up to back. Lucas Hyriggs.
Number 18, Lucas Hyriggs.
Lucas Hyriggs sees that first pitch for a strike. Hyriggs, Morrison, Crew Morrison, and Brody McManus. The guys do it for North Carolina. Easton Shealy still the man on the mound for South Carolina. Second pitch from Hyriggs. Big swing and a miss. Hyriggs over 1. Grounded out back to the pitcher. His first at bat. So Shealy, his third pitch. Gets him to swing at it. At a ball that was outside. Luckily, he just got a piece of it. Able to foul it off. And so count remains 0-2 for Hyriggs. Shealy only an inning's worth of work so far. Only 10 pitches. Works quick. This pitch out to center field. DeRocha gets under it for the first out of the inning. So Hyriggs now 0 for 2 after that fly out. And that'll bring up Crew Morrison. Morrison with a single his last time up. He's been the pitcher so far for North Carolina, and he's got a couple innings under his belt. There's not a lot of hits so far, but a couple walks and 3 strikeouts to his name. First pitch he saw for a ball. That one high in the zone, but lifted up in the air. DeRocha does a great job getting underneath it, though, and so 2 batters, and DeRocha's retired both of them so far after that fly out. So Brody McManus, the man up. Brody got caught in the fielder's choice last time. And so got Morrison out his last time up, and he was able to get safely to first. First pitch he sees is for a ball. So Shealy not really a strikeout pitcher. He does a great job of getting the ball put in play and allowing his defense to help him out around him. That ball gets away from him, though, so it's 2-0 now. Like I said, no strikeouts or hits or walks so far for Easton Shealy. So just doing a really good job of allowing hitters to put it where his defense is. 3-0 now. Shealy going to look to come back in this one. Caden Hardage, the man up for North Carolina. That pitch hits the top of the zone, makes it 3-1. Two outs for McManus. That pitch comes outside. McManus wanted to take a hack at it, but thinks otherwise, and so he will reach base on 4 balls. It'll be Caden Hardage now. After that walk from Shealy. That, that one. Big swing and miss from Hardage. So quickly an 0-2 count now for Hardage. That one put into play. Second baseman going to get underneath it, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So other than the walk, Easton Shealy able to sit the North Carolina team down, and now they'll head down to the bottom of the half of the 3rd, and South Carolina going to look to put up some runs for themselves. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. We'll be back after this. All right, back bottom half of the third now. South Carolina returns to the top of their lineup. Ben Wright, Ethan DeRocha, and McKinley Wade. The gentlemen due up for South Carolina. First pitch from Drew Morrison. Sails in for a ball. So Morrison has exceeded the 41 pitch mark. He will not be able to go tomorrow, but knowing the South Carolina team, they've got some pesky bats, and so he's going to look to retire the side and maintain this North Carolina lead the best that he can. Although, first at bat with Ben Wright already behind in the count 3-0. Ethan DeRocha, man on deck. Ben Wright his first time up, reached on an error. Sees that pitch for a strike. 3-1 in the count now. That one in low for a ball. And that'll be Crew's third walk of the game.
Now batting number 11, Ethan DeRocha.
So Ethan DeRocha walked his first time up. First pitch in high. 1-0 for DeRocha. That one hammered out into left center, and it's gone. Ethan DeRocha, 2-run home run. What a great way for South Carolina to get their first hit of the game. It's on the back of DeRocha's 2-run home run. And that makes it a 1-run ball game. The score now being 3-2. Still in favor of North Carolina.
Brings up number 6, McKinley Wade.
So number 6, McKinley Wade up now. Another guy with home run pop.
Anybody retrieving it?
That pitch in for a ball.
Yeah, just maybe because he's not going to hear what I'm saying. Ethan DeRocha.
Second pitch from Morrison. McKinley Wade fouls off the other way, 1-1. So again, that was their first hit of the game, South Carolina, and it results in 2 runs off the back of Ethan DeRocha. McKinley Wade looking to bring himself in as well, as we know he has the pop that can do it. That one, high fly ball out to right field. And right fielder able to catch it. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
Next up, number 44, Milo Staninger.
Milo Straninger steps in. That right fielder was Caden Hartage. Caught that ball. Milo Straninger, a little bouncer. Gonna go foul. Make it an 0-1 count for him. Milo, his first at bat, struck out. The 0-1 pitch now to Straninger. This one down the middle, but going to be popped up over to the second baseman. That'll be the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Jake Thompson. So 2 down now for Jake Thompson. Flew out to center field his last time up. Sees that first pitch low for a ball. Second pitch from Morrison. Bring ball also comes in basically the exact same spot.
Is that
Pitch comes in high and inside.
Scoreboard and go get the flag on field 7 real quick. Quickly, that game's over. I don't know.
3-0.
They will announce.
That ball in for a strike. 3-1 now. As Thompson sees that 3-0 pitch in for a strike. Morrison looking to come back after this. Ball hammered over to the shortstop. Throw across the diamond in time. And so North Carolina kind of gets themselves out of that jam, but not before that 2-run shot by Ethan DeRocha. And so we will head to the top of the 4th now. North Carolina going to look to extend their lead. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series.
That's bat number 3, Bentley Bass.
All right, we're back. It is the top half of the 4th now. Bentley Bass, the leadoff man from North Carolina. Sees that pitch on the outside edge for a strike. Bentley Bass, Cooper Morrison, and Caleb Spicer do up this inning from North Carolina. Houston Shealy still on the mound, doing work for South Carolina. He's come in and got him some quick outs, like we said. He's a ball and play pitcher. Not a big strikeout guy, but he'll put the ball in play and allow his defense to work behind him. That pitch gets him to swing, couldn't hold it back. So now a 1-2 count for Bentley Bass. Bentley's 1 for 1 with a 2-run double. Sees that 3rd strike down the middle. And so Easton Shealy records his first strikeout with that strikeout looking.
Cooper Morrison.
So Cooper Morrison also 1 for 1 with a single. That pitch in for a strike on the outside edge. That pitch outside and low. 1-1. One gets Cooper swinging. 1-2. And all of a sudden, Easton Shealy's finding his swing and miss stuff. That one going to be a little bouncer down the 3rd base line. We'll go foul, though, and so we'll reset with a 1-2 count. All right, the 1-2 pitch to Morrison. Also going to be fouled out of play, this time down the right field line. Count remains 1-2. Caleb Spicer, the on-deck man from North Carolina. This pitch just inside. Now 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Cooper Morrison. Gets him to foul it off again. Count stays the same. Pitch from Shealy. Gonna get him to foul it off again. Looking over at the other game on field 9, also the losers game. It's tied 5-5 between Florida and Texas as they're in their 5-minute hydration break, concluding the 4th inning. That pitch outside corner, just a little bit too far outside though, and so it is now a full count to Cooper Morrison. That one, pop up high over to the shortstop. He's able to get under it. And after a long at bat, it ends in a out. So Caleb Spicer now up.
Ethan Shealy is now at 35 pitches. Now to bat number 9, Caleb Spicer.
Shealy's pitch. Spicer pop up over to first base, and that'll be the 3rd out. So a 1-2-3 inning for Shealy and the South Carolina team again. Will bring us to the bottom of the 4th, where South Carolina is looking to take their first lead of the game. We'll be back. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, bottom half of the 4th, North Carolina back on the bump for South Carolina. It'll be Kyler Brunson, Jackson Howard, and Easton Shealy due up. Crew Morrison still on the mound. He's at 58 pitches now, so already out for tomorrow. See how long they allow him to go and see if they push him out of this tournament altogether. First pitch he sees is for a strike. Second pitch. Fouled off down the left field side, and so now it is quickly an 0-2 count for Kyler Brunson. who struck out his last at bat. That pitch comes across the plate, but outside. So it is 1-2. Pitch from Morrison. Gets a big swing and miss at the top of the zone. And that'll be the first out of this bottom half of the fourth.
That's bat number 7, Jackson Howard.
That is Crew's fourth strikeout of the game. Jackson Howard, who walked his last time up, now at the plate. Sees that pitch low and outside for a ball. 1-0 to Howard. Sheely, current pitcher for South Carolina, on deck. That pitch at the top of the zone to get another swing and a miss. The 1-1 pitch comes inside, but gets another foul ball. 1-2 quickly to Jackson Howard. Crew Morrison trying to look to make quick work of this inning. That one sails inside, makes it 2-2. North Carolina in the losers bracket after their loss to Alabama earlier this afternoon. That ball punted to play, out to center field. And he'll get under it is Lucas Hyriggs. That'll be the second out of the inning. After that fly out to center, Easton Sheely will step up into the box. 0 for 1 so far. He grounded out to the second baseman his last time up. Sees that first pitch for a ball. 1-0. South Carolina got here after their loss to Georgia yesterday and ended up beating Mississippi earlier today to advance them in the loser side. And so now both of these teams fighting to stay alive here in the World Series. Winner will face off against the loser of Alabama and Georgia tomorrow at 12 o'clock here on Field 10. Looking to keep their hopes of Wednesday's championship still alive. 2-0. Comes outside, now 3-0 for Crew Morrison to Easton Sheely. Sheely able to get on base. It'll go to Dalton Edwards, who's the on-deck man, and he will step up to the plate after that 4-pitch walk from Crew Morrison, his 4th walk of the game.
That's batter 24, Dalton Edwards.
Dalton Edwards now up for South Carolina. He grounded out to the shortstop his last time up. Dalton, the number 9 hitter, sees that first pitch for a strike after Dalton. South Carolina will return to the top of their lineup. Gonna get a pickoff move over at first, trying to catch Sheely off guard. That one gonna be a little bouncer, but go foul. So quickly an 0-2 count to Dalton Edwards. So he's down to his last strike in his at bat. The 0-2 pitch, pretty breaking ball, drops into the zone for the third out of the inning. Will take us another 5-minute hydration break. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. We'll be back for the top of the 5th after this.
Ready, yeah.
All right, welcome back. We're done with our 5-minute hydration break. South Carolina back on the bump. Starts with Easton Shealy back on the bump. Number 11, Jordan Mathis. The first batter due up for North Carolina. Isaac Dial and Lucas Baker to follow. That one grounded past the first baseman. And it'll get out to the outfield. So leadoff single for Jordan Mathis. So Easton Shealy allows his first hit since he's come into the game.
Bat number 7, Isaac Dial.
Bring up Isaac Dial. The leadoff batter on first. That was the opportunity for North Carolina to extend this lead and try to create some separation against this tough South Carolina team. That pitch sails in. That is Shealy's 40th pitch.
Shealy's at 40 pitches.
So 1-1 count. That one hammered out to left field. So just like that, got runners on first and second. 2 easy singles for this North Carolina team, and they're looking to roll. Lucas Baker, last time he was up, laid down a sacrifice bunt. Could possibly do the same here with runners over on first and second. That's when he kind of popped up in the air a little bit. Looks to see if maybe he can lay that one down a little bit better. That one pops up a little bit too, but it will do the job. So another sacrifice bunt for Lucas Baker results in the first out. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position.
Number 1, Easton Curl.
And we're back to the top of the lineup for North Carolina. Easton Curl, 1 for 2 with a double and a fly out. Sees the first pitch for a ball. Scored that first run for North Carolina. Flew out to right field as last time. Second pitch down the middle is going to carry out to center field. And DeRocha able to get underneath it. Both runners will tag up though. And so it is now a 4-2 ball game in favor of North Carolina. They have a runner on third with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Lucas Hyrig.
Now to bat number 18, Lucas Hyrig.
So now we'll have a meeting on the mound. Coach Jeff Howard going to make his way over there. talk to his pitcher, Sheely. After that, again, done a good job of getting the ball, bunt and play. After that, that was the first run that Sheely has given up since he's come in. North Carolina had that dominant first inning where they put up 3 off of 4 hits. And then Sheely's come in the last 3 innings and has done a really good job. And so Sheely's going to be done, but it looks like they're calling up DeRocha.
Now pitching number 11, Ethan DeRocha.
All right, so we'll see DeRocha come in and be the guy now for South Carolina. All right, so DeRocha's coming in. He threw 12 earlier today, and he's going to start with a at bat for Lucas Hyrax. That first pitch in for a strike. And so Isaac Dial over on third. That pitch comes outside. Makes it 1-1. Hyrax has grounded out and flown out in his 2 at-bats. That one. Fastball inside for a strike. So now a 1-2 count to Hyrax. Hyrax playing up closer to that line, making the zone a little bit more difficult. That ball, a little dribbler down the first base line for a foul ball. Count will stay 1-2. So 1-2. 2 outs. Runner on third for Hyrax. That's when he fouls back as well. So it's 1-2. Still. Hyrax is able to get on. Crew Morrison, the man on deck. That pitch in the ground. So it's now 2-2, but a really good stop by Jordan Mathis, or excuse me, Ben Wright, to stop that ball and not let it get past him. That pitch just a tad low. Makes it 3-2 for Crew Morrison. Payoff pitch to Hyrigs. Fouled off away. Count stays 3-2 for Ethan DeRocha.
Attention in the ballpark. Aiden Millette. Meet your mom at the boys' bathroom. Aiden Millette.
That one high and tight inside. Gets the strikeout. That'll retire the side. Not before one run does come in from North Carolina. So they stretch their lead to 2. South Carolina looking to make that comeback here in the bottom half. And we'll see them right after this. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series.
That's total now. Total pitches.
All right, we're back, bottom of the 5th. South Carolina back to the top of their lineup with Ben Wright, Ethan DeRocha, and McKinley Wade due up. Still got Crew Morrison on the mound for North Carolina. He's at 74 now. So he'll be done for the tournament, but I know that this game is important to even have a tournament to look forward to. And so his first pitch to Ben Wright is in for a strike. Second pitch, breaking ball just outside. 1-1. That one, a little bouncer over to the shortstop. He'll make the throw across to the first baseman, and that'll be the first out of the inning. And so, ground out to the shortstop brings up Ethan DeRocha. His last time up was that huge 2-run home run that put South Carolina on the board and gave them their first hit of the game, and still their only hit. He sees that first pitch in for a strike. Other than DeRocha's home runs, been a lot of walks or reached on errors, and so sees that second pitch for a ball. So 1-1 now the count for DeRocha. Sees that ball outside, or excuse me, sees that ball on the outer part of the zone. 1-2. I need a time. Call from DeRocha. 1-2 pitch from Morrison. On the outside edge for a strike. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Morrison's 6th strikeout of the game. That'll bring up McKinley Wade.
Now to bat number 6, McKinley Wade.
McKinley's first pitch. Out away on the opposite side, 0-1 for the lefty. Crew gets set, the pitch. Pretty off speed, but probably a little high and outside, and so now it is 1-1. Morris trying to ask for clarification of where that pitch was, so he knows. A pitch in for a strike, 1-2 now. The count. Going back to his fastball. McKinley 0 for 2 today, strikeout and a flyout. Morrison steps off. His pitch. Fly ball high up to center field. But Hyrigs gets under it for the third out of the inning. We'll head to the top of the 6th after that 1-2-3 inning from Crew Morrison. North Carolina looking to put it into things here in this top half of the 6th. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, we're back top of the 6th now. North Carolina looking to extend their lead. South Carolina looking to stop them so they have a chance of coming back in the bottom half. DeRoche's first pitch is a ball. And so we have Crew Morrison, Brody McManus, and Caden Hardage due up this inning. That ball down the right field line, gonna be fair. It's gonna be a tough for Milo Strandiger to get a hold of. Gonna allow Morrison to get over to second. He's going to third now. Wade slips getting the ball over in left field, and all of a sudden, there's a runner on third for North Carolina. And so Morrison turns that double into extra bases after some errant throws by the South Carolina defense. And that'll bring up Brody McManus.
Now batting number 12, Brody McManus.
After that hit allowed from Ethan DeRoche. First pitch to McManus, sees over to the second baseman, Thrown over to first for the outs. But Crew Morrison comes in for the run, and so now it is a 5-2 game in favor of North Carolina.
Now batting number 5, Caden Hardage.
And Caden Hardage now up. This ball fouled back and out of play. 0-1. To start Hardage's at bat. That pitch outside, 1-1. The count now for Hardage. Bentley Bass on deck. Swing and a miss for Hardage. Now 1-2. Hardage 1 for 2. Had a single and a fly out. That pitch high and inside for a ball. 2-2. Fifth pitch. Outside for a ball. It's now full for Caden Hardage. Payoff pitch. Outside for a ball, and Hardage will head over to first base after that walk. First walk. Giving up for DeRocher.
That's number 3, Bentley Bass.
So Bentley Bass, now the man up. Gonna have another meeting on the mound for Jeff Howard and his guys. Bentley Bass stepping in. Had a 2-run RBI double in the game. Struck out in his second at bat. Now looking to continue to help his squad out here in his third time up. Over on the other field in the bottom of the 6th, it's currently an 8-6 ball game with Florida ahead. Just started the bottom half of that 6th inning. First pitch to Bass. It's that inside corner for a strike. 0-1 count now to Bass. That pitch sails a little high. Now 1-1. Cooper Morrison, the on-deck hitter. Runner's going. It's Bass to swing. But we'll allow Hardage to advance over to second base on a 1-2 count now. Only Bass's pitch, DeRoche's pitch, missing wide. 2-2. 2-2, runner in scoring position from North Carolina looking to add on. That one low for a ball. Count now full for Bentley Bass. That pitch outside and wide is now runners on first and second. 1 out. And DeRocher records his second walk. And it is now Cooper Morrison up to bat. Big swing and a miss from Morrison. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a pop out to the shortstop. That one hits the outside edge for a strike as well. 0-2. Now to Morrison. And that pitch in for a strike. And so now 2 down. The runners on first and second. DeRocher trying to get out of this jam. First pitch put in play. Over to shortstop. And that'll record the third out of the inning as he went over and got the force out at second, and so after all that, we will head to the top, or the bottom, excuse me, of the sixth, where South Carolina is down to their last opportunity. We'll be back after this from the 2024 DYB World Series in Bossier City, Louisiana. All right, we're back, bottom half of the sixth. South Carolina's last opportunity to stay in this thing. That'll be Milo Straninger, Jake Thompson, Kyler Brunson. Gentlemen due up for South Carolina. We now see Brody McManus take the mound for North Carolina. Got to see Brody a little bit in that South Carolina-Texas game that happened on Saturday. Came in and after tough few innings for North Carolina, they had an 8-0 lead and started to allow Texas to make a comeback. He came in and ended up shutting the door and securing that win for South Carolina, and so going to look to do the same thing here. He starts with an 0-1 count to Milo Straninger. Pretty breaking ball drops in for a strike as well. Now 0-2 to start the at-bat to Straninger. Straninger, a fantastic pitcher in his own right, recorded 8 strikeouts in early year's game against Mississippi. That one, top of the zone, just a tad early, and it goes down to the left field side for a foul ball, and so count will stay 0-2. Pitch by McManus. Straninger to swing at that one too, and looks like Straninger's going to take whatever he can. He's wanting to hit everything. That one came in high, and he took it down the left field side. Figuring out foul ball situation on left field side, it appears. 0-2 count. Still to Straninger after back-to-back foul balls. That one popped up in the air. Left fielder trying to get under it. And he will. That'll record the first out of the inning for Brody McManus in this North Carolina defense. So Milo ends up going 3 over 3, today. After that fly out to left. Now it'll bring up Jake Thompson. Thompson 0 for 2 to today's game. That ball gets away. Now 1-0. The count. After that ball outside and low. After Thompson, we'll see Kyler Brunson, the on-deck man. This one, line out, right to the shortstop. And just hit it right where the shortstop was, and it's a quick way to record the second out. And so Kyler Brunson, the last hope for the South Carolina team. They're down to their last out. Kyler Brunson steps in. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. Brunson spikes that first pitch. 1-0 now. Brunson caught looking his last time up. Second pitch from McManus. Hits that outside edge for a strike. It's now 1-1. Third pitch, down the middle. Gonna be a little pop-up. And the second baseman will take a hold of it. And that'll be the ball game. 3 quick outs for this North Carolina defense will send them on to tomorrow and advance to face the winner of Georgia and Alabama. South Carolina, an incredible tournament. They have some very talented pitching and some very talented batters. And so for them to leave, today they kind of got outmatched, especially being down a couple guys and only now 9 guys on their roster in this last game due to some injuries. And so we will now head to tomorrow as far as Odin goes on this field, and we will get ready for a AAA game. And so we will see North Carolina again tomorrow. For South Carolina, they will make the journey home as they have been eliminated, but a tournament they can be proud of for sure. We thank everybody for watching tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Please like, comment, share. You've been watching the 2024 DYB World Series here live from Bossier City, Louisiana. We'll get you on the next one.